Congratulations and well done on buying your new Ezytrail K-Series camper. You've made the right decision. Before you head off on your first trip, we want to show you step by step just how simple it is to set up your new trailer. Be prepared, it may take you a little while the first few times you do it as you learn what goes where and who does what job, but after a while you'll be a well-oiled machine. Let's get stuck into it. The first thing to do when you get to camp is to find a nice piece of flat ground like this and unhitch your trailer. Before unhitching though, make sure you put on the handbrake and position your wheel chocks behind your wheels to avoid the trailer moving when you disconnect. To disconnect, flip down the jockey wheel and take some of the weight off your vehicle, just until the pin is able to turn freely. Then disconnect your trailer plugs and chains and pull the safety clip out and then the pin. Next, get a mate to drive your vehicle forward until the trailer is resting on its own jockey wheel, then simply unclip and wind down all 4 corner support legs using the provided winder. Now it's time to unlatch the boat loader. With the help of a mate, push it up and away from the trailer. It can either be locked vertically or folded down horizontally depending on what you have attached to it and how much space you have at camp. The next step is to get the legs for the rear bed ready, and here's a little tip that's going to make this job a lot easier. The first thing you need to do is find these 4 large gold pins and then attach the legs to the bottom of the trailer underneath rather than up on top. Then unlatch all your catches. Lift the front lid first all the way until it's resting on the front of the trailer. This is a 2-person job and there's a bit of weight in these lids. Then repeat with the rear lid, this time attaching the rear bed support legs. It's really important that you lock these legs into position before you get into the trailer and put any weight on this bed, because otherwise you could risk causing some serious damage to the trailer itself. Before you go gung-ho into setting up the inside of your trailer, take the time to get your poles out and organise them into groups. There are a couple of pole types that you'll need to be aware of. These are your upright poles. They come with either a spigot or a C-clip, and at the other end, they've got the rubber foot. These are used to support your annex. These are called your ridge poles. You've got a flat on one end and a hook on the other, and they attach to the camper trailer and they go out to the upright to support the roof of your annex. These are spreader poles and they come with either a C-clip or a flat end, and they're used to spread the load between the poles to keep your roof nice and tight. These short guys are the window stays and they feature a spigot at one end and a hook on the other, and these are used to keep your windows open. Lastly, these guys are your corner stays, and as the name suggests, they're used to keep the corners up nice and high off the bed. And to help make the whole job easy, each pole has a number on it identifying where it's used and what it's used for. All of the poles in the K-Series range have a quick release and a quick locking mechanism that's so easy to use, even the kids can do it. Before you get into the tent, there are 2 other types of poles you need to know about. The tent bows. These are the U-shaped tent supports that are attached to the trailer. The roof bow. This is for the tropical fly that sits on the top of your trailer to keep the sun and the rain off the canvas roof. Now that we have that sorted, let's get the trailer set up. Now it's time to set up your home away from home. Once you're well practiced, you can get this job done in as little as 10 minutes, but be prepared for your first time to take a little bit longer. Locate your door key and use this to open the door of the trailer. This is always the first thing you do before going into the trailer and the last thing you do before folding the trailer back up when you pack up. Grab 2 C-clip spreader bars, one long one and one short one, then climb inside your trailer. If your trailer is brand new, check that all the bows are correctly attached to the canvas. You do this by using the Velcro to hold them in place. On the Lincoln LX, the middle bow needs to be detached every time you pack it down. So each time you set up, you're going to need to attach the middle bow to the canvas with the Velcro sleeves. The design of the Lincoln LX means that the canvas will hold in position once the bows are Velcroed in place. Before tensioning and extending any bows, ensure that the door and all the press studs that are external are connected, as this will help the canvas stay in shape. Then starting at the front of the trailer, extend all bows until the canvas is taut but not tight. If you make it too tight, you can open up the seams and allow water inside. Once all the bows are extended, put in the 2 spreader bars to hold the centre section of the roof taut and Velcro these in place. So there are 2 things to remember that's going to make this job really simple in the future. The first one is take your time. Work from one end to the other. The other one is you're looking for taut but not tight. And what we have now is this camper setup in its simplest form. Well, now it's time to set up your annex, and you're going to need around 20 to 30 minutes to do the job. A great place to start is by grabbing a mate to give you a hand and laying out all of your poles. Here's another great little tip. Come and have a look at this. When you were setting up your tent, you may have noticed these little eyelets on the tent bows. It's a good idea to make sure they're all sticking out of the little holes in the canvas along the way before you start to set up your annex. But before we can get these attached, we need to get our annex roof zipped up. Unfold your annex canvas and lay it out on the ground. Make sure it's sitting the right way and you have a nice pile of all your annex walls and shower room off to one side. Then lower your centre bows to make it much easier to attach the annex. It can be done without doing this little trick, but it makes it much easier. You may remember earlier we spoke about using your window stay as a bit of a cheat when it comes time to set up your annex. So if you're vertically challenged like I am, here's a great way to run the zipper along the roof line. Start by inserting the hooked end of the ridge poles through these eyelets, and it's much easier to do this with a friend helping. Once all of your ridge poles are in, start at one end and extend the uprights and add in the flat spreader poles. And then last of all, pull the canvas over the top with the upright spigot through the eyelet and use the elastic hook to secure. It's best to have your mate or missus help with this part. It really is a 2-person job. Well, now that the perimeter is all set up, it's time to put in the C-clip uprights. Now once that's done, what we recommend is putting some guy ropes in on each corner, regardless of the weather. That's going to make it fair dinkum as strong as a house. Cheers, mate. If you'd like a little bit more privacy from the other campers, or the weather looks like turning and you want to batten down the hatches, it's a great idea to set up your annex walls and skirt. It's a fairly simple process, and with the help of a mate, it shouldn't take you any more than about 15 minutes. The first step is to lay out your annex walls and make sure that the side with the PVC flap is going to be on the inside of the trailer. This will make sure the D-ring is on the outside and you can peg your walls down. Once again, with the help of a friend, start the zippers and zip away. Make sure that you don't forget to push down the Velcro for a good seal. Peg out all your walls using the D-rings that are positioned around the perimeter. If you're putting the PVC floor in, this is the time to do it, once it's all pegged out. This simply Velcros on, and thanks to that PVC flap, there's no chance of water getting in. Little tip for putting the floor in is to have a mate on the outside, putting some pressure on the Velcro. It makes it so much easier. Well, there you go, that's the Lincoln LX, the biggest trailer in the Ezytrail range, set up and ready for anything, and it didn't take too long at all. Don't forget to check out the camping tips segment on the DVD for some handy hints on how to tie things like guy ropes and also attach your shower and toilet room. If you've got any questions about the setup of your Ezytrail, feel free to contact your local dealer. But if you've picked up any hints and tips and you'd like to share them, log on to Ezytrail's Facebook page. Catch you.